Hello there everyone, it's Mark III and welcome back to a bit of Outpost Infinity Siege. Yes, of late I've been poking around with the graphics settings, recording wise, and I've settled onto medium graphics overall, mainly because on low graphics there seems to be some very strange issues with stuff being in very, very low poly form. Which even on medium I'm still sometimes getting on medium texture quality and stuff, but the degradation just like in general was resulting in actually some very poor appearances recording wise. Sadly though, my hard drive got full, so I lost some recent footage, so we are currently in a slightly stitched together episode, I suppose you could say. This has also been recording time wise after an absence of nearly 2 weeks, which honestly, I'd be surprised if anyone watching isn't a bit frustrated by the on again, off again nature my content has had for a bit now. I wouldn't blame you. I'm honestly kind of frustrated about it as well. And normally I don't get frustrated about YouTube. It's like I set myself out to try and do this. I wanted to, and then it's been a few rough weeks at work, and it's just like, yeah, everything shut down again. Honestly, I think the biggest cause is I'm an introvert, so a lot of extra hours. An introvert in a shop setting at the best of times is a bit rough, and I find it quite draining. Though, actually, I had a comment from a customer I ran into on the way into work at one point, which surprised me, because normally I kind of like veg out a bit on the way into work. It's like I'm a semi-autopilot kind of state. But it's like the comment was, one that I've seen the mask slip. You are not looking happy to come into work at all, are you? And it's like, oh dear, my face was showing something like that. I don't normally know what my face even shows. It's just like, oh, I wasn't happy. I was in pain. I was forcing myself to come into work. But I still find it very useful to be in the job I do, so it's like it did give me a serious double take moment for thoughts kind of reaction for me. But anyway, so I've got a number of episodes waiting to go out, but I've not even been editing properly as part of all that's been going on. So briefly, a recap of the base. We are honestly doing quite well. This base has been stuck for a little while though in terms of my actual playtime. Covered with cryo turrets, covered with machine guns. Main things worth noting is we've got twin Sea-Wiz guns on the front here. I've been experimenting last few deployments with Zen turrets.
Warning. Blizzard outbreak. Operative mobility reduced.
I'm considering replacing my cryo turrets, which see it barely any use, with just some Zen turrets as a more powerful but slightly longer range alternative. Like Zen turrets fitted with an elemental scatter shot after my experience with Faye going into Outpost 6, just as an alternate freezing method. This particular one is my first attempt with a medium Zen turret, and I've wound up fitting it with a missile launcher, of all things. Though a mine deployment thing also works, and my plan is originally to fit that with a targeting thing. But anyway, gonna keep on moving on. Let's us actually go ahead and get out of here, because we are currently in a safe zone. I just want to kind of treat this not only as a re-recording approach and get Kronos again, you know, the big guy in the second video I ever did for this particular video, but I'm also going to try and do this, getting this back in the speed of things, because this is my second day off after long hours, and then it's like I'm back to regular schedule next week, so we should be doing a good bit better, I think, this coming week overall. But yesterday I kind of binged on No Man's Sky, so it's like, you know what, if I'm suddenly getting into this and it's actually got a new element which is like kind of mobile basey, kind of like this one, it's like, you know, I'm actually going to try and record some of that. So today I've said, you know what, I'm going to send a good chunk of this recording stuff and editing stuff to just get things moving in the coming week when I'm recording this. When this video goes out, that week will probably be over, let's be entirely honest, but yes, that's what's going on. Minor dormitory. I have been playing this deployment pretty steadily, but I'm not interested in that one. Let's go. Container space. Yes, please. 105 barrel. I've not actually tried mounting multiple 105s to a base. But another reason why I decided to record this as well is it's my first time deploying with a new configuration for my character as well. So let's actually break that down before we drop into a place, shall we? Except I cannot because I apparently can't open my backpack in this weight room. Okay. That's okay, that's okay. We will proceed. Powerful gear, yes please. Powerful gear means I want to be dropping in, but I've got several places to drop into. I've got an unknown place, and then another unknown major place, and I've got a target for pickup. If the target pickup actually winds up having mission-specific dialogue in it, then I'll try to cut that, I think, out and put that in after the section of recording I've actually got after I had that hard drive error, and you know, so there might be some cutting back and forth here because that was also an attempted multiplayer run as well. So you know, the tail end of a multiplayer run. So this episode is, as I said at the start, going to be kind of stitched together a little bit. Minor dormitory with Zen, please. I'm still looking actively for Zen. But I mentioned this is another approach character. It's a slight relapse to my character settings before this particular save file was started, and it's also going something new as well, so it's a mix and match. Okay, so this character's loadout, to give you the gist of it, is kind of geared towards AoE effects, like big splash damage, crowd clearance by myself. But I've paired that also with very high yield single impact damage as well, which is the relapse I mentioned. So I've actually got I've got my good old go-to of, yes, my weapon, it was all glowing yellow. I've got my old relapse of light round, pretty powerful as a cheap, ready-to-use option to go in, you know, basic combat, paired with a heavy round for anti-big enemy or anti-weak point work. So Kronos is going to be in serious trouble with this one. Then we've got my nod towards my current specialization attempt, which is Splash in the form of a rocket launcher in slot 3. I can only fire it once, and it drains and then I have to reload. So yes, you know. And now I can actually bring up the backpack for you to show you what I've got. A Walton, we've got missile barrage and decoy as this particular character type's specialties. Shoulder-mounted missile launcher, which has multiple charges, 3 charges. Decoy also has 3 charges in it. The missile barrage also has some pyro effects as well and stuff like that, but you know, lots of on-demand splash. Then it's got stamina booster as another one, and it's got insurance. I've not seen insurance very much, honestly, in characters I've tried to use for myself, so there we go. The actual weapon, currently my most powerful one, upgraded, 442 attack. Things of note is the turbine barrel. That's where the yellow glow is coming from. Also special note, this one, by the way, all of its bonuses happen to be purely on attack, boosting raw damage output, which plays into something else I'm going to mention very shortly. But if left to charge by itself, once it charges, the next shot has I think it's 300%, 500%? I think it's 300% damage bonus stacked on top of everything else. So, especially with the single shot nature of the missile launcher, or the single shot nature of the heavy round, that is going to make a single devastatingly powerful attack. But then, when it's not charged up, the turbine barrel confers no bonuses, so that's why I've got a light round in the first slot, just like general purpose, good enough. Marksman round comes with high power sights, which happens to come for weakness bonuses. The underslung bow is triangular grip, which also gives a lot of attack bonuses for more raw damage. And then a marksman stock, greatly increased aiming speed. Also, mostly focused on attack bonus. So my overall attack rating is 3,500 on this character at the moment. Oh, also I can reload while sprinting. That's because, honestly, I've not been trying to mix and match cavalry gun cores or any core type. I have only found one marksman core the entire time I've been playing on this save, and it was a 2 Zen slot one. So, yeah. Anyway, old and new mix match for the equipment. I have got levitation boots for longer airtime. I have got the breakthrough helmet. Oh, I brought the wrong helmet. Whoops. Never mind. Breakthrough helmet. Gain stacks of supersonic equal to movement speed divided by 20. Each stack of supersonic decays. Sorry, all stacks are lost if I'm static for 1 second, but each stack grants a 0.5% boost. So this is like a 12-13%-ish damage boost for a second after I've been moving around. But I said I'll lose after 1 second, so like 13% on top of everything else. Explosive amp armor. I mentioned I was AoE focus. Increase all AoE damage by a further 10%. And then lastly, something I'm kind of struggling a little bit with. If I'd realised I had the breakthrough helmet, I'd brought the double jump boost instead of the levitation boost, probably, but levitation does help with... Well, actually with the helmet it doesn't help with ability recharge, so, you know, I'd rather have the double jump if I'm not using that recharge helmet. Grenade gloves, something I've not dabbled in before. Portable glove that shoots grenades. It's purple, it has 3 charges, it's got a fair chunk of armor on it. Thankfully, it has an impact fuse if it strikes a viable target. So doors, basically anything that's got a hit point counter. Windows don't count, by the way. It actually bounces off windows. But yeah, this can blow doors and enemies on impact, which makes it very useful. At first I thought it didn't have that, and I was rather disappointed, but I was glad to be proven wrong. Anyway, let's actually get started, because I've talked about my build, I've talked about what this character is kind of specialised in. But then we're going to be jumping forward and around. Oops, that was a hit point upgrade, I didn't want that, I want the recovery boost speed. Okay. Anything else nearby I want to try and grab? This parking lot. Not seeing much by way of valuable wrecks. This is not going to be a good place to be in terms of actual, you know, loot, sadly. Oh, I also I'm not sure if this is in the recordings or not. Twin guiding fabricators on the back. Of course, got the 2 mech-like hangers. I've not actually deployed one yet this time around. And I've been upgrading the base with lots and lots of pillars and batteries. In fact, the base plate has expanded again. So I'm kind of eyeing moving towards an upgrade to the base. Either it's going to be adding the secondary floor around them. Oh, that was the pillar. I thought there was an explosion of some sort. Second floor was intended as an extra gunnery deck, but honestly I've got so much supplies now, I'm kind of wondering if I maybe should just hold off and go for advanced autoloaders ASAP. That might be my approach, honestly. If I sound a bit off, I feel a bit off with this video as well. It's also partly because I'm doing this one first in this day intended to be mostly for recording. Okay, here we go. Now, while I miss the scan gloves, the grenade gloves... Yeah, that. It lets me actually break down regular doors completely for free. So, you know, it does actually have some flexibility to it.
The enemy has spotted you! Pursuers incoming!
Thank you, MGT. I don't honestly mind that much. Because my fortress is more than able to intercept. Now the thing is, this run I was actually playing as with the intention of, you know, actually doing a full loot run, so you saw me skip a couple of zones earlier. Those are the only zones I've skipped this entire run. But now that I've actually got an upgraded gear terminal, I think I'm probably actually going to complete this fully looted up and everything. Though I will be attempting to actually do so fast as well, you know? Got to keep an eye on that recording time. Also means less editing work as well. Must admit. I seem to have been consistently awful, sadly, about editing things that require a bunch of editing. That's something I have kind of realised, and I rediscover in myself quite repeatedly. I don't... Too much editing seems to make me shuffle something into a I'll do it later, and then later struggles to put in a proper appearance on real power. Let's recharge myself. Wrong. I have many power generators on this thing. To the tune of like 30 small power generators. Yeah, getting into this zone and actually getting a bigger, beefier power generator is probably a really good idea. Anyway, I'm also using these guys as temporary storage for... As you can see, one of these is just housing a bunch of stuff. Let's just stash you and you and you. I'm stashing high explosive in there in case I run into a signet mine. Your temporary overflow. Actually, that lockpick's just going to get shipped out. There we go. Yay!
Whew! That was too close. Better take a breather.
Yes, I have a grand total of 4 Vipers as well. So I have out to 9-kilometer range rapid fire 30mm cannons. Anything medium or heavier, well, anything medium or generally large in classification is just getting swatted by these things at the moment. Mainly because I'm not 100% confident in this base, so I have not been actually aggressively picking up enemy boosters. Enemies currently have, like, I think 50% armor and 15% or so extra health and damage. Mainly because I want to rely more on my outer defenses compared to everything else. Because if you boost the enemies too far, yeah, you get more rewards, but I treat my base as the backstop. Like, the enemy gets to it, then that's a sign that things are going kind of hard. Okay, nothing in there. Got this. So yeah, my base is a backstop. It's very heavily armed right now. It's multiple times higher than the recommended value for this particular difficulty. But the recommended doesn't take into account if a player's greeding for lots of extra rewards and stuff. Now this is where I missed my mobility boosters. I really should deploy a mech, you know? Because I actually intend... That's one of the thoughts I had in mind when I actually came in without any personal mobility enhancements. It's like, I'll just use the mech for it, and I've wound up not actually deploying my mech yet. Iron Mark III. A mental gymnast, if ever you saw one. Yes. Purify 2. Increased elemental build-up, reduced damage. I guess that's not something I've tried yet, really, either. Like a heavy elementally focused build. Though I kind of weave elemental into my attacks now more routinely than I have before. I'm especially a fan of cryo. I actually now, as standard, thanks to Lil Kari's influence and example, I weave elemental ammunition. In particular, I like the cryo element because if I've got an enemy coming after me, then, you know, I swat it with a lot of shots, and if I'm having trouble killing it, I can freeze it in place. That time again with Faye and the tragically xenophides. Xenophides? What? I'm not sure what's the...
The enemy has spotted you! Pursuers incoming!
I'm not sure what the actual appropriate term would be. Infested is the appropriate phrase for Zerg. Okay, we've got something tasty out there. And yeah, you see, my grenade just bounces around randomly, if given half a chance to. I guess infested would be the case here because it is foreign matter intruding on the form. So, yeah, and the infested commander of Outpost 7, our childhood friend Yulia's mother, who was victory at any cost, but also desperate and ignored the risks, sadly. Yeah, I'm just trying to bring myself back into the appropriate headspace. I'm sorry. I didn't intend to show this much of the looting side of it. But yeah, it's kind of how my rambling has played out. Yes, that Iron Mark III, he will ramble your ears off, especially when he's feeling less comfortable. The less comfortable he feels, the more talkative he gets. Oh, that's Iron Mark III, the fiend. Also, he tends to get more sarcastic and silly. Right. Anyway, I think I've touched on the basics here. And it was also kind of partly in my frustration as well about how badly I've been doing recording-wise, I think, which is reflecting my burble switch more than a little. Anyway, let's roll on and keep going.
Manual mode activated. Welcome, pilot.
Yes, hello. Ah, that is so much better.
Automatic mode activated.
Yes, thank you, Knight. Anyway, I think I mentioned previously in the last recording, as I recall, that I'm planning to try and touch major locations as I get to them, so you guys can actually see them and the environmental storytelling that's going on. At least a little bit better than I have been doing. So, yes. Catch you kind of shortly, I think. What am I doing? Eh, that works. Don't know why it bounced though. Oh, hi. I'll tell you this for free though. I do actually kind of miss the smart scope. I am getting out of the reflex now where my normal response there would have been like scope in and then just burst in the general direction. The smart scope encourages that, but since I don't have it, I'm having to actually aim. Honestly, it does mean I'm actually a bit more wasteful with my shots in general, I think, after using the smart scope for so long.
Welcome, pilot.
Oh well.
Automatic mode activated.
I still don't understand, though, the tactical scope. I know, this is the save that's like, try all things, but the tactical scopes are just, ugh. Yuck. And I say that because, well, you know what, I've not actually shown you that one, have I? A tactical scope. No, I need that. Let me put it this way. Tactical scope. It's like the ones that have been in Modern Warfare for a good while now. When you scope in, it highlights enemies very visibly. It's like, yeah, enemy identification makes it very obvious when you're looking at an enemy. But it does that in a very small square on the screen, effectively about the size of my... as the round bit on my actual scope on my screen here. You know, the lens on my current scope. That's the size of the window it gives you on your scopes. In that scope, it doesn't give you a crosshair, and it lights up any enemies with bright red. But in doing so, it also completely hides any weak points as well. So it's like you can't very easily weak point hunt unless you actually know the enemy you're targeting. So Yeah, the tactical scope is... I don't understand why it's in the game, let's put it that way. Explosive parts, sure. Okay, what have we got? Have we got something good? We've got the hospital. Okay. Time for a brief exploration and a bit of environmental storytelling.
We're detecting a stash in that nearby crater. Try to avoid the harmful xenium if you intend to retrieve it. Don't touch the ground. Look for something to stand on.
There we go, just stopped my turret wasting its ammo because it was intercepting a rock very, very carefully there. Right, I mentioned there would be storytelling, environmental style here. And indeed there is. So, this falls in the same category as the school in the previous woodland area that I specifically went back to show you guys very briefly, or rather an interesting POI that was next to it. This one is not as useful. It's got more generalized sites. Like it can have something there, something there, something there. There's usually something tucked away around here. There's usually like a bunker, as you can see in this area. But that's the thing. There's a hospital. There's an underground bunker nearby. Sometimes it's got a reinforced structure on top, but there's always a bunker, as far as I can tell. There's always a xenium source nearby. Suspicious next to a medical facility. It's not a big or complex hospital either. It's more of an outskirts rural kind of hospital in general. But there's hints that something else is going on. I'll head straight there and I'll show you. Oh, actually, before I go. There is a constant within the hospital as well, which I should keep in mind. I believe I have one on hand. As soon as the loading screen clears me. There we go. There we go. Envoy's keycard. Yeah. Envoy's keycard. Okay, here we are, the abandoned hospital. Just take that drone down. Hi. So, I mentioned that there's something that indicates things here might not be as they should be. Let us proceed inside and we'll be greeted immediately by that. So, step inside and oh look, CD. Yes, there is a nebula in here. Or more specifically, there are always two nebulae in here. So, why a nebula in here? Why is it a hospital? The hospital is also very ramshackle, like it's been rapidly used during the actual events. There's bloodstains on the floor. There's it's very much a state of like there's so much equipment here, like it's in a triage situation, you know. Like the halls were lined with cots and beds and things, just like trying to tend to everyone. So yeah, this is it. Kind of shows that during the collapse, the casualty rate was horrendous. But everything is now completely junked and messed up. And then, ooh, hello. Oh look, we come through, and someone. That is a Xeno, I think. Yeah, look at that distorted face. There's a minor jump scare in the form of this little guy just randomly hanging through the cabling from the roof space. Now, sadly, this POI doesn't actually have an underground section. I feel like it probably could have done with one. But, yes. There's also further bodies indicating there was some kind of experimentation going on here. So, yeah. As I said, there's kind of an environmental situation here, which is questionable to say the least. there's also one last thing, which of course, which is why I actually brought the Envoy keycard in with me. There's usually a control thing here. Turrets, chance of explosions, yes please. Now we go through this locked door. There are two things through here. First off, well, there's a bot there. There's the other nebula.
The enemy has spotted you! Pursuers incoming!
Don't care. There is also always an Envoy locked cabinet, which has a magazine in it this time around. Yeah, that's kind of randomized. Are you good? I've got some better cores at my disposal at this point. It's a 3 with 3 slots on each, which is not bad. Let me be clear, but it's like it's not. I've got a handful which are 3 slot, but 4 upgrades each. But yeah, why is there an Envoy cache stashed at the back of this ward? Why are there multiple nebulas? Why are there bodies around the place that are visibly mutated and altered? This hospital was not just treating the sick and injured. It was probably being overwhelmed later in the stages of the AI's takeover. But this hospital seems to have been very much involved in experimentation of some kind.
Operative mobility reduced.
Something was misused on multiple people. And that's why I wanted to kind of show this off at other general places as well. Where are you? I think you're on the roof. No, didn't do anything. But yeah, that's why I wanted to share this place a little bit. Makes you wonder though, what were humans like before the AI took over? Because it seems like they were rather, well, reckless, I think. Then again, am I any different? Well, they just lit something up rather hard there. I'm guessing that was a stalker because my Sea-Wiz reacted too. Though part of me kind of wishes I had more Sea-Wiz guns on this base. Ah well, ponderings for another time I suppose. Let's keep on going. Swap. Loading everything in because I have realised something else as well. Now, one minor thing, by the way, in terms of like environmental storytelling, as I mentioned before, is this place quite frequently has a military building spawned in the same map too. Oh, I've got an odd number slot configuration. Okay. I'll sort this in a moment, actually. We'll just get this one down here too. Dash. Okay, so there's usually a military thing, but I have realised that there's another thing which I don't think I've shown on camera yet. You've seen 2 types of bunkers so far, I believe. One is you go inside and there's just a small room. Is that a stalker? Also buried chest. I'll use that excavation kit now. Rocket gloves. I am so very tempted to swap out my grenade gloves for that. Except grenade gloves, I'm just trying to get used to it. It's just like they are actually pretty potent as a source of AoE splash, but I've got multiple sources of AoE splash already on this character, so it might be overkill having the grenade gloves. I think I might just swap out for the rocket gloves actually. I was thinking it might be nice to actually try bringing the grappling hook glove. Anyway, the other side. 2 types of showing you so far. One, drops you straight into a small room. Second, you go down, lockpick a door, come down. Third one, this is the third. Open this up. This is a New Horizons one, and it's actually got some kind of higher level command facility inside here. Now it's all in ruins. There's not much really to be seen from this, I believe, story-wise. But if we look around, as you can see, there's like we can see a tactical table which doesn't correspond to my local area, so who knows what they were operating with. There's no displays or anything down here. Oh, there's another prototype chest though. Cavalry Corps. Only 2 slots though. But it also kind of shows another situation, because this is like, this place has obviously been hit, it's collapsed partially, it is badly damaged by something or other, and it's also long since abandoned. But there's also not much else here, because it's just like two smaller ancillary rooms, so it's like, this is like a very small localized bunker for doing probably remote control operations of a removed operational or task, like Overwatch support for an operation in a nearby area and stuff like that. That's probably what this is intended for. Or it's like gather here, plan, and then go and do the thing. Either or. So yeah, intel support or planning prior to an operation going off. Because let's be honest, there was probably some kind of smaller structure here to hide this hatch, which has long since been completely removed. Though the damage indicates this place was probably hit by something or other. Though the terrain above doesn't show that, but gotta remember, the terrain isn't part of this particular POI appearance. The appearance is limited to just this, and sometimes a building around it, and that's about it. So yeah, we can't read anything further into why that one's there, because it is a random one. I think it's just one that turns up if you've got a higher higher rarity of loot spawning for you, honestly. I'm so tempted by those gloves. You know, I think I'm actually going to stick with the grenade gloves. The whole trying newer things bit. Plus, gotta admit, they are kind of useful. Oh, hi. Also worth noting, by the way, normally the rocket launcher on this guy spits out considerably more rockets, but I think because I've got the Pyro Rockets upgrade on it, it's actually replaced the flurry of previous rockets with a single incendiary rocket, which is honestly a bit of a downgrade. Did you see that? 16,000 damage with that grenade? These things are actually quite potent. But yeah, one upgrade seems to swap out my entire missile barrage of conventional high X with an incendiary. And then there's a separate upgrade which upgrades it to two of them. So, you know, that's kind of what the path for this one does. Or this particular character's unlocks. There are electro, and I think there's a cryo version as well. Yes, thank you. Oh, dang, my backpack's full. I did call out a mule to try to offload some stuff, but unfortunately the mule ran foul of an enemy and got taken out. Oh, why am I doing that? There's my grenade gloves. There we go. Now the thing is, I keep doing that. I said I've got 3 explosives on tap.
Warning. Blizzard outbreak.
I've got my Pyro Rocket Launcher.
Reduced.
I've got my grenade gloves, which are standards for HE. I've only ever come across HE and incendiary gloves, by the way. I've not actually seen any other grenade glove type. Hopefully there's some others. I'd love a cryo grenade glove, for example, but I've never come across one. The other one I've got is actually a decoy, which one of the talent tree upgrades turns it into a explosive when it expires or if it collapses. I've never actually deployed a decoy, so I don't know what it's like. Let's throw on. Oh, it's one of those ones. The decoy it's worth noting, doesn't seem to work on hunters. Oh well, the more you know. That's why I try things. There's still a lot I don't know about this game. I can feel myself getting more chill with doing... Oh boy. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling more relaxed now that I'm actually getting into the groove of recording something again.
Blizzard has ended.
It's just the moment I tried to say that, I immediately lost all my armor, and I was mildly worried that I might actually be about to get killed. But yeah, there we go. Now, I briefly got the attention of my repair drone up front here. Thank you. Health is restored. Oh, that's something I forgot to bring. I didn't bring any MREs. Whoops. I'm sure I'll be fine. Possibly. Yeah, sorry. Parts of my kit that I actually seem to be forgetting fairly often nowadays is MREs to act as a health recovery option. You know, I've also forgotten to bring detectors along. Yes, I'm Mark III. You definitely know this game. You're definitely in the right frame of mind because you forgot to bring your healing items and you forgot to bring any kind of range detector equipment and didn't even think to keep any until you found yourself in a map where the detection range isn't good enough. Oh, well, yeah, I'm definitely some form of messed up right now, I think, but, oh well. I'm laughing at myself as well, so I can't be that bad. Definitely need to ship some stuff out, though. Let's set those. I'm actually considering, if I do some further reworking on this particular base, elevating this tower slightly and then stashing one of these underneath there to act as like a secure inventory box like this one is being treated as. Just as a secure place to stash some stuff without the ability to send it off back to base, you know? Hopefully there's some kind of unlockable onboard storage, but if there was, everyone would be building them, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in the handful of videos I've watched. Yeah, some kind of storage chest would be nice, I think. I think I'll throw the ore straight into my recycling furnace, actually. Oh yeah, because I'm not sure what I've actually commented on before. This base is currently fitted with it's got the original power converter, which I didn't know how to use until Lokari mentioned. I can feed materials in here to convert directly to power. Or there's another one I unlocked much more recently, which is converting items thrown in into materials. That's how that works. Oh, actually, that's something that was lost in the failed recording. Under here, I have reworked things a little bit. So I have got a little cubby here with 3 sets of emergency healing, just in case. My back hall currently looks like this. This goes to the access hatch located between the 2 mech deployment bays at the back here. Just for ease of access, I actually usually just ignore it. But I also found we can fit these generators too high on pillars, and we can stack them together like this for a very dense form of energy generation, which is quite interesting, honestly. Though the other thing I've also been doing is, as you can see here, I've got battery racks for these pillars as well, mounted tightly together like this. So that's where a lot of my power capacity comes from, and honestly it's not kind of needed. Now, the thing I actually came back here to show you is not that, though this is my first combat cover. I've deployed in one run so far with those, and I'm actually quite interested in them. Is we've got the dismantler in here, in this little cubby under the stairs, along with, of course, the assembler, which I've not used that this particular run, but we've seen that one already. Gold combined with ammunition goes into a variety of different things. Oh, I can actually rectify my problem with the lack of detectors. I can also condense ammo into basic ammo packs. Tempting, actually. I didn't know about that. That's actually a good one to have. Ammo pack is a condensed version of storing 9 regular ammo packs. So if I wind up with excess ammo to store, that would actually be a decent thing to do about it. You can put these together back at home, but instead of 10 gold, it asks for a canister of, I think it's like organic solvent or something. Something to lubricate it. So this is actually, I think, would be a better way to go about it, really, rather than getting everything back through salvage. Anyway, dismantler. I think I mentioned several videos ago, should be by the time this one goes out, that that we'd work this one out. So I've used it since then, of course. I think this was more useful when this probably accepted different raw materials, because I really do feel like this has been streamlined to accept gold and ammo packs only as its raw components. This one now gives back 25% of the value. It says regular items of similar value, but it actually gives 25% back of its total gold value, rounded up. So if you feed something in worth 2 or 1 gold, you still get like 1 gold back. But that's what dismantler does. It just lets you convert other items into gold. I feel like it did a lot more before, but yeah. That would have added to the survival element, honestly, if different things actually could be refined that way. Anyway, my waffling has definitely taken me into places I wasn't expecting. I've still got this tower to sweep, I've still got the crates to clear, and then we'll just move on. Let's use the knight to get into the crater a bit more easily, shall we?
Welcome, pilot.
Exiting X-boost field.
Warning. Fuel low.
Ignore that. It's referring to its rechargeable fuel bar, which is the that blue thing on the left of the mech hood.
Automatic mode activated.
But yeah, this guy handles those rocks and things far more easily than a regular human does. I'm just eyeing video length, honestly, because I feel like this is already going to be an overly long episode. Especially if the other major POI is anything good. In fact, I might just skip that. Yeah, in interest of video length, I might just skip the other POI, depending on what it is. And as an overview, here is what I have wound up with after this area, as you can see. Along with, of course, the stuff that you already saw shipped out. Hospital tends to be fairly lucrative, though it's it's not the largest looting zone. It's actually only a mid-sized one. It's just you start on one side of it, that's why the base radar doesn't cover it all. That said, though, quite frequently it does come with an enemy attack as well. And yep, that was the turret with a rocket launcher activated. Actually, I should configure you. Don't go after small guys, please. That's something I've not built yet, actually. I've not yet built... Oh, you can see the more advanced bomb back there, that organic sack-like one. I've not actually built any dual 30 mils at all. The Vipers and regulars have both been serving me okay, but the Viper 30 mils and the regular 30 mils are both kinetic rounds, while the dual 30 mil is actually pyro rounds. Well, I say they're kinetic; they're actually like they actually are a small explosive tip. Nothing like this rocket launcher, though. Hello, tank. You've got a missile pod on your back there. Doesn't matter though, you've already been taken out. I think I'll also leave that in the video as well, just to show the blinding green flash that was flagged up in comments of the videos that actually went out recently-ish. Yeah, if you're not within the splash zone of the green flash, it's actually much easier on the eyes. It's just unfortunately I will be refraining from hand wielding that as much as I possibly can. Death from above, yes please. It is... oh, it's the prototype factory. Time is a concern though, so we saw the prototype factory in passing. I'm going to leave that be though and insta-loot, just because I want to record some other stuff. Honestly though, this one is one of two that only appears on like difficulties. I think it's 3 and 4 mostly. It might appear sometimes on 2, but yeah, this one's mostly 3 and 4. It's also one that no, a story mission hasn't sent us here yet. I think it's one that does appear in a story mission later though, if I recall correctly. It's been a bit at this point since my other save reached this stage and went past it, so yeah. Okay, insta-loot. I will take HP regen. And we got a handful of bits and pieces, that's all okay. That's actually a mid to large size PR we've just been to. And lab ruins, dang it. Okay, so I'm guessing then this particular recovery objective is a automatic upgrade to lab ruins, because that was not lab ruins a moment ago. Sadly though, I'm actually going to skip that, which is going to simplify my editing of this episode a little bit as well. Yes, Iron Mark III is making considerations. Lab ruins is the other major POI, by the by, that we're missing. So we had the prototype factory, and then we've immediately got lab ruins. Lab ruins is great for supplies. You can get tons of salvage from it, but right now I'm going to skip in interest of other commitments I'm trying to force myself to adhere to today. So yes, insta-loot. I will not get the main mission loot, it warns me. Yes, I am confirming. We have got ourselves some basic things, but as I said, that's a really good one for like general stuff. Smart mortar on the tower, sure. It's a great place to massively boost your material stockpile if you got the ability to build a quantity of Titan spikes and some remote miners. Even just a single remote miner deploy with 3 battle miners is a huge boon on the ruined lab. Though with like 20 to 30 Titan spikes, you can reach really dense pockets of material. So there's no reason, if you've got advanced base building ability, well, even mid-tier base building facilities, to expand your influence, why you shouldn't leave Ruined Lab with basically maxed out power and material reserves, unless you've got really, really big stockpile potential. Anyway, just a basic lakeside town. Insta-loot it and get... We just picked up Death from Above, so Xeno attack will be buffed, but Xenos, we don't care about them at this point. But 200% to all valuables, yes please. This is actually going to be quite a useful extraction day for me. Speaking of, that's going to round out this particular recording session. It is going to be extraction day. We're going to meet our old/new friend, depending on which timeline you're following, in the form of the Kronos. So, recovery day. Yep, take it all. Gear supply, enemies have 50% armor, enemies have 15% more attack and hit points. So as you can see, I've not got much going on in that regard, but we've maxed things out. Component reagents 20,000, valuables 8,000. Equal to 400%. And then 200%, so that's 6 times that. We're in for a good payday after this one. Okay, here we go. Are we ready to rumble? Not really, because my UI is still booting. There we go. Right, got it. So, I wanted to record this recovery day for several reasons. First and foremost, I'm going to get some battle mines down, because we want materials, please and thank you, at a really steady clip. So, first off, we're going to, of course, face the big scale boss in the form of Mr. Kronos. Let's deploy a free one there. Yep, the camera does glitch out a bit when you go over something that's over covered like that, but we're going to deploy a miner out here. It'll harvest those trees. There's not that many actual dense pockets to put stuff in, but let's expand. Let's expand. Very good. So, we're going to face Kronos. The other thing I wanted to show, though, is actually something else. In the form of, I mentioned combat covers. That's something that's been confusing me and my friends a little bit. Well, mainly me and Lil Kari. I don't think Clit's really concerned himself with them. Let's get those guys boosted. Yes. Get some Titan spikes in place down here as well, because they are very useful to have. So, combat covers. What are they? Why are they so useful? They are basically a mini forward base, I've found, and I plan to actually get more cover building spots soon as I can. But if I put one down like here, it comes with 3 spring barriers and a small supply crate. So far so good, okay. As I start to deploy things. But of more interest is the upgrade options it comes with as well. As I try to position so that I can take full advantage of one of the upgrade options. And I was actually planning to put my other combat cover in down there, so... Are you okay with that? You are okay kind of with that. I'll put one there. There we go. So I mentioned there's another feature, right? Well, these things actually could be upgraded with 2 options for enhancement. Like how these basic ones can be upgraded with additional recoil and convert into like a small fighting position for you with a little bit of power. Those defaults upgrades are available always. These though have 2 other upgrades. I need more power to run them though. They unlock separately by separate upgrades. One of them is to give it an ammo maker, of all things, and the other gives it an auto-loader. So it really is a little forward position for you. So now you understand why I said that. That is literally the case. We also do apostles, so I will be deploying some covers back here. Yeah, I admit I play this stage of the game very much like a tower defense. Whenever I've played with Clint and Okari, I've always wound up on base building, just like keeping everything ticking over base-wise, like in terms of stalling the enemy further out and stuff like that. And then the other two just go ham combat style. You guys are doing okay. Oh good, we're getting to the point where we need some Gatling upgrades. Let's throw those in. I didn't mean to overdrive that turret, but I guess I will. I need to get down there sooner rather than later. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. So, I need to get down there. Actually, there's something else I need to do really maintenance-wise. Something little Kai pointed out to me because I never knew about this. On this particular map, on this difficulty, you actually get a couple of AI-controlled sea whizzes in here as well, just to help with your first encounter with the Kronos. I never actually knew about these until he pointed them out to me, because there's one hidden right over here, there's one up on top of the tower, and they only appear on difficulty 3 as well, because difficulty 4 there's no supporting emplacements. So, you know, it's one of those odd little things about this particular map. But anyway, I do need to get in position as I go ahead and grab copious amounts of ammo. I mean, I have got an ammo maker down there, which this, because it's an autoloader, it can grab from. Like that, to give it some ammo supply locally, but to get the quantity of ammo we need down there, I need to be down there for the most part. And that's why I'm kind of going. Or I will be. And yes, we just heard some Xenos being greeted by my heavy cannons, so yeah. I feel like the forward facility might be about to have trouble. I should have hopped in my knight to do this trip, actually. Oh well. Anyway, move on. Get over there. Clear things out. The Titan spikes will help, but they won't clear it. And yes, okay, so it's like a normal autoloader, it's got limits on range and visibility, so I am aware I'm dropping frames there. I think it's because of the Blade of the Apostle getting busy up there. Hey, buddy. Yeah, that's something that was missing from this firing line, actually, some actual auto cannons. I think I will kind of destruct you. I cannot, actually. Okay, so yeah, sadly I can't destruct these actual combat covers, so that's something worth noting. I can drop combat covers, by the way; they are collapsible, so that they can be adjusted a little bit, but apparently I can't drop them completely. That said, though, we are due very shortly to have something else drop in, you know, a fun guy. Let's get these Titan spikes up to speed. We are once again low on power. There it is. Yeah, on the lost footage, that was just like, these weren't pillars, they were just triangles. And the Kronos itself was actually very, very, very poorly loaded in, so that's why I upped the texture settings to medium again. But hello, old friend, how are you? By the way, I've got heavy rounds with your name on them. Okay. Let's stop you for a moment. I can't one-hit those guys, that's worth noting. Also worth noting, by the way, turret components and things actually drop from Kronos as you knock out those weak points. See there, it drops some turret bases. How are you guys doing? You guys are having trouble. Have a decoy, I think. Yeah, just helping my base out a little bit. Good riddance. And this time, I looked at the explosion. Potentially to my own detriment, honestly. Because this area is kind of beginning to fall apart a little bit.
Recovery procedure nearing completion. Hold on just a bit longer.
Hello, tank. Meet tank. Oh, I missed. That's all that gives me. That's okay. I'm not concerned though, because we have enough resources we can just throw things down. Hold position, please. Bad timing on that one. There we go. Okay. So we had Kronos come in.
Aircraft arriving in 15 seconds.
I predict I'm going to need... by the way, I believe that it says something about there being Xenos coming in. I didn't see any Xenos coming in.
Your ride is here. Time to...
We heard them coming in, but they kind of got dealt with, so you know. Also, there's an extra recovery container. Oh wait, no. There's a gear drop container coming in. I almost forgot about that. Come and join me over here. Yep, that's me. Haha, hello. But, yeah, because I was distracted on Kronos and my rounds are not as effective as I remembered them being with my Faye, mainly because Faye... That's one drawback I've noticed of actually having these experimental things going on. I've actually got all my Zen upgrades and things split between 3 different characters at the moment. And this character is actually my weakest character, my newest one, so it's got the weakest upgrades. But yeah, turret base, a data relay and a nano chip. The relay I think was the eye I shot out on the Kronos. The nano chip is Kronos' default thing, though sometimes it hits the ground sometimes at speed and then just falls through, so it's possible to lose it. But yeah, look at that. I got an MG turret, and I think the MG turret was actually... No, the MG turret, because I shot that gun turret out, and 4 turret bases out of that. So yeah, they found a turret nexus on the way over here, apparently. Let's rearrange you slightly so you can get another one in there. Thank you. Throw that in there. Throw that in there. Throw that in there. Do have 2 ammo boxes, but I don't care about them. I care about the loot. So yeah, I don't know why those heat sinks drop turret bases, but hey, loot is loot, and it's a good source of turret bases, Kronos. Though I already said it at the start, that actual fight with Kronos looked so much better than the recorded one that was lost when I was playing with my friends. So, yeah. I hope you never have to see that in my videos. The image of Kronos barely being Kronos, effectively. lots and lots of armor in here. And yes, my support drones just locked me in there. Plus, there's also the fact if you ever see those fingers of God dropping in from the sky, they should look like the metal pillars of destruction they are, rather than like little triangle shapes, which don't really capture the majesty of it, you know? So yeah, that's why I've upped the graphic settings a little bit more. Because it's necessary. That's the balance I always strike, honestly. Any game I play. I will sacrifice a lot in terms of I'll sacrifice a lot in terms of graphics for stable performance, but I won't sacrifice all graphics for performance, because if it starts to look really bad, then I won't. Then I'll correct things a bit further, because my goal is a level of play that feels stable enough that I'm okay with it. And that's the way I've always approached it, because my PC has been on the weaker side for a very long time. Anyway, let's see. You are a recovery crate. Throw, throw, throw. Throw. You are the gear crates. What shinies do we have? Hopefully something nice. Oh, a new... Oh, it's only slightly weaker than my current one. What kind is it? A rapid. Actually, that makes it more powerful. Some levitation boots, an engineering helmet, and some grenade gloves. Actually, comparable very much to my current ones. Lev boots, an upgrade to my current ones. That's another thing. I've got 3 characters fitted out with gear, so all my good gear is split between 3 characters, again with this one being the weakest, flat out. Okay, so the Cavalry Core Gun's bonus is enables reload while sprinting, and it says it's got a faster reload rate on it as well, though that's the guide I read that was hard to measure. But this one, Rapid Core Gun, basically everything fires a bit faster, which in turn means its damage potential is a bit higher overall. But anyway, there's one more place to loot up, and then we'll get to the end screen. This recording session will end with the actual display score for this particular run, but as I said, there's a bit of multiplayer recording which briefly has the voices of my friends in it after this, and that will be rounding this out. Oops, there we go. You know, these places have combat supplies in them. Maybe the intention is to actually loot them before or during the fighting. Not after the fighting stops. Like, there's a portable spike, there's a healing station in here, there's armor plates. Maybe a good habit would actually be to loot these locations before the fighting really kicks in. Because that's kind of what they're meant to be, I think, for the most part. There is that one time, though, where I was the sole survivor off camera with my friends. We mentioned it before. I survived because I was up in that gun tower. My friends were down here with the base and they both got taken down. Ah well. Okay, Editor Mark III here. We have got the only piece of footage left from the multiplayer run that was lost, which fits in here now because of the story elements involved with it. We get a team kill, we think, and honestly, it doesn't quite mesh in the flow of the video, but this is the only spot where it fits, considering that, well, this recording session wound up having some story elements as well, completely by accident, despite my best efforts. So, enjoy. And I do apologise for the loss of footage in this case. Though then again, you didn't see Kronos in its pyramidic form, so actually that's a good thing. Recording.
Yeah, you definitely need that new hard drive.
Yeah, that was a... Thing is, last time I actually checked it, I had a good amount, but I didn't actually check it today before we started doing anything because I just got back from work, so... Yeah. Anyway, yeah, recording is rolling.
Welcome back, everyone!
Hopefully I can salvage previous footage. If not, the prior parts of this video will be me going solo, mano a mano, bravely against Kronos for the first time on this save. It will be an epic fight with cutscenes and dramatic poses and, you know, all the good stuff. Also sparkly glitter. That makes a good
Can't
fight,
forget
right?
that.
Yeah, that makes a good fight.
And if it works, you will see.
If I'm able to recover, then yes, we'll have you just here, heroically firing from the dropship that's not about to whisk you to safety. While the cabin's on fire.
Well, I can actually hit the landing zone from here.
Yeah. That precision then is... Oh, look, Ari, that can hurt us. Oh good, we left before it detonated.
I know I can't hurt us, but I can't move you.
Oh no, he said that can hurt us.
It can.
That hurts
Yes,
us, Akari.
Yes, I heard.
I think he timed it so that we'd be in the leaving animation before it detonated. Oh,
Yeah,
and
it takes about 4...
why, when we left, are there now pillars dropping down in the background? I think that your gravity killed someone, and so it thinks it's game over. So there's actually a full blown pillar strike going on in the background behind my. What the hell?
Let's see if someone didn't get recovery stuff.
Yeah, because something happened.
I got
Okay.
recovery stuff.
I got recovery.
I got recovery, I think.
Visual... so bugging out, huh?
No, as in the victory was already recorded by the time you TPK'd the entire squad. So
Yeah.
yeah, you did actually kill us. It's just the dropship had closed its hatch by that point. Huh. Well, that's good to know about, isn't it? This bit though is properly recorded, so that my evidence is there that Aitos was striking in the background there.
And that
Which is-
Akari killed us all.
Yes,
So did you guys did or didn't get recovery?
we did.
We
get
got recovery.
Yeah, mission completion happened before the betrayal.
But then we all died on the way back. So did your character survive? You gotta check your hospital.
Yeah, that is something that needs
I am
checking.
happy to inform you that our combat rating
Let's
has
see.
increased.
Our combat rating has increased.
Combat rating. How come I've never heard of that?
It is a rating I created based on the book.
High Flyer's there, so...
Combat Guidelines.
So yes, she survived.
Breeds from now on.
Our
Hang on,
combat
please.
rating is now at 4 stars, but there is still room for improvement.
Ah, we're still 4 stars apparently.
Faye, report to the research center.
Anyway, right, sorry, I was answering the radio. So, let's check on my character as well, just to see that they survived.
I had plot armor.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
you
did.
had plot armor.
You were Faye. Because I actually forgot for once to bring out a recovery beacon on my character. My character, though, did survive as well, so yeah. Aetos struck, but it didn't actually claim anyone, apparently.
Man, the AI is really bad at its job.
It is a little bit, isn't it? But yeah, because we're actually late on time for this recording, though, so you guys want to stop there and split?
Yep.
You guys have a great day, and thank you for watching, viewers.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I can recover the previous footage. If not, as I said, an epic cinematic battle will be recorded in its place, I swear. It'll probably be much more of a struggle because, well, these two kind of absolutely wrecked it when it arrived. So, yeah, well.
Sniping.
Yeah, I might turn my graphics settings back up again because when it dropped in, it was like very low poly for me, like triangular shapes. I didn't see the pillars even. I just saw triangular extensions. So something in the graphics settings has visibly downgraded stuff, like massively downgraded stuff. So I need to figure that one out. This is why I don't tend to go monkeying around in the graphics settings.
Okay. You
Yeah,
guys
but-
have a good one.
Yeah, I'm going to keep recording a little bit longer because I have conversations to do, but yeah. Thank you for playing with me,
Okay.
guys. I'll see you both later.
You're welcome.
Take it easy.
Okay, and I am back at it. My apologies, everyone. While shutting down the Discord channel, I realised that the Discord that I tend to link to and operate my videos through had had a little spam bot visitor, so I was busy purging the heretic. So yes. Anyway, that's done. Yulia wants to see us at the research centre. Don't worry though if the previous recording does happen to be lost. There wasn't actually any story dialogue in the segment that is hopefully recoverable, maybe not. Because that was just like a simple run, get to the boss and face the boss. And then we had the recording error happen after that. Anyway, right, Yulia. Hello, Yulia.
What's wrong, Yulia?
I have two interesting discoveries. I noticed you completed the high altitude firing test in the shooting range.
Yeah, Juliet helped me complete it. What's up?
Yes, this could work. That was used for Outpost 7 to simulate a live fire situation of the OSC against the Aidos. You are the first one to score a hit other than my mother.
Really?
Don't open your champagne just yet. The data in the simulation is based on pre-Starfall data. It is not reliable as a reference. The target you hit is the central nexus for the Aidos. That has been completely sealed off after Starfall's failure. Theoretically, Aidos should have other weaknesses, but we have no way of knowing for now. Anyways, consider this a good sign for the things to come.
That's a shame. You said you had two things to tell me?
I found something interesting inside the files from Greg Industries. They have a satellite relay station on the east side of the Windy Desert. Based on the files, it was originally constructed for the maintenance of the Aidos.
Maintenance?
The station's satellites are equipped with high-performance sensors and self-modeling algorithms capable of scanning and analyzing large objects in Earth's orbit. The satellite can relay status information on the Aidos back to waiting engineers in real time for diagnostics. We can use that to find new weakness for the station, giving you a shot at destroying it, but you won't be able to get in there for now. That area's been marked off as high risk, and I have no idea why.
That's more than enough. Leave the rest to me.
Don't do anything stupid.
I won't.
Isn't she Faye's childhood friend? Surely she knows better than to say such things. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Aitos was originally a human creation. And so we managed to track down some data that might help us with that. The fact that it's they started to automate the repair and maintenance and stuff makes a lot of sense, and it also explains why the AI isn't really too bothered about anything down here. It's like it's up there, it's got the materials it needs, it's gonna keep going. But if we can pinpoint a new weak point, considering our previous orbital cannon's weak point that it was aiming at was has been sealed off as an avenue of attack. We need to find another way. And we need to talk to MGT. Hello, my guy. How are you?
Hey, I need to know what's going on east of the Windy Desert.
Taped off because of a high concentration of enemy forces. Why do you ask?
There's a satellite relay station in that area that can scan for the Outpost weakness. I must get to it.
The top brass is never going to agree. That place is too close to the base for a large-scale engagement. You're not going to try to sneak in, are you?
That's why I'm asking you for a favor.
You've come to the right person. Hold on. I think I've got an idea. The satellite station is too close to the base for any remote access. Any attempt will instantly give away our location. Erica has blocked all access attempts going to that area.
I thought you got an idea.
Let me finish. If we can disguise our traffic as the enemies, we can slip through and learn of their forced deployment around the station. Trust me, you don't want to go in blind.
What do you need from me?
Bring me a signal component and leave the rest to me.
Thanks.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Okay, so we've got an idea to sneak in, and we were literally just told to not do anything stupid. But we need to go in. We need to go to the Windy Desert, high concentration of enemy forces, and get access to the relays to actually, try and find out what we're doing. However, we're going to have to do it under the radar for the enemy and our superiors because we're not meant to be there. So, MGT has a way to get us through that, but we need to get a signal component first from Snow Ruins difficulty 3, which ironically is also where we actually need to go if the recording can't be saved to, get the whole boss fight back again.
Commander of Outpost 11, Faye Pratt. Sortie authorization granted.
Which I'm not going to do right now.
Please
I'm just
confirm
pulling up
your
configuration.
Please confirm your operatives. Please confirm the area.
Editor Mark III duly informs you that the flashback is now over. I will now return you to the proper order of this time stream. Well, I did say that it didn't fit in properly anywhere, didn't I? Okay, not quite my highest, but it is up there, as you can see. Outpost killed nearly 1,500, I got like 32 odd, apparently. 32,000 in loot, 115 in directs, because it's like just equipment stuff. Equipment tends to be pretty low unless it's like higher tier stuff. In which case, these were 3 because it's 3 time, 3 gold, 40 gold. So yeah, not much. The specials, 114,500. 20,000 materials, 33,000 from valuables, and 60,000 recovery value. Okay.
You really handled yourself well out there.
Thanks. Gotta ensure all threats are eliminated.
I applaud your spirit, but watch yourself out there. We can't afford to lose any more good people.
I will.
Hey, Faye! I got the signal component.
What?
This just might work.
What?
Come find me when you can.
What? Oh, I think I know what just happened. Okay, so we apparently have a bit of story now to round this part out. Okay, so yeah, I'll have cut in the other stuff before this. Right, so what just happened? They were asking for a comm module, right? So they sent me to lab's location to specifically spawn one and guarantee one appearing. But it was, I remember now, it was always specifically, no, not that, I want my base warehouse, please. It was always specifically just the material component comms module. Yeah, it was always just one of these. And because it's a generic piece of loot, now I've got slightly more than one of them at this point. They've just suddenly triggered to move forward because I completed the map location and I have a comms module. Okay, at least the triggering system is flexible. So yeah, okay. MGT, how you doing, buddy? Aitos observation.
I just jacked into their system. The station might be heavily defended, but it isn't impregnable.
Good work.
I found us a safe route. Get ready to rumble.
Okay, right. So that is actually going to drop us into a mission, so I'm not going to do that one right now. Because this is another solo mission, this is one for Faye. I was going to try not to record more before videos catch up, because that's one of the things I've been kicking myself about. The fact that videos actually had kind of caught up with where they were before I had that sudden collapse into inactivity due to work pressure. It's just like, I was kind of there. I was almost at a point where I was going steady, and then suddenly I wasn't anymore. I do apologise. That's just how things seem to be far too often. It's why I'm kind of frustrated a bit about the whole thing. But yeah. Definitely going to roll it out there, though. Because this is a slightly messed up the chopping and editing side of it. This is Matthew. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps out me, helps the channel, giving those virtual headpats I also crave. And we'll catch you all some other time. Next episode will probably be recorded before this one goes out. But we will once again have the illustrious and ever perfect and not at all reckless ever Commander Faye with his neck scarf and protagonist haircut. I don't know yet what weapon systems I'll fit him out with, though. What loadout he'll carry. Because I'm starting to understand the grenade gloves, but it's a story mission, so I'll probably use scan gloves just to help with finding things. Actually, if it's the mission I think it is, I think I'll actually bring this weapon I've got in this run just now. Because we want access to the heavy caliber round. The other two aren't very good against powerful enemies with weak points, you know? So yeah, if it is the mission I think it is, we'll want that heavy caliber round. But yeah, see you all later. Next up, No Man's Sky. Okay.